Welcome to our Tides presentation by Zach Kiger, Justin McGrath, and Brandon Gauntlet from Period 5 Earth Space Science.
Tide, the regular rise and fall on the surface level of the sea, oceans, and the bays of Earth. This is caused by the gravitational attraction of the moon to a lesser extent of the sun. The maximum high tides happen when the moon and sun are directly aligned with Earth. This is the greatest gravitational pull on Earth's waters, as along with the same tides is reinforced. The lowest high tides occur when the sun is at right angles, so that the pull on Earth's waters occur at two different angles and the tide is made weaker. Tides vary by region and are influenced by seafloor topography, storms, and water currents. High tide, the state of the tide when it's at its highest point. The high tide reached at meteorological conditions takes place when the moon and sun are directly aligned in respect to Earth. High tides are not as strong when the moon and sun are at right angles. Storms and other meteorological conditions can also affect the height of the tides and how strong they are. Meteorological conditions are extreme weather conditions and major storms. Low tide. Low tide is a tide that's at its lowest particular time and space. The lowest tides reached under normal meteorological conditions is a spring tide. Normal meteorological conditions means like no extreme weather. These tides take place when the moon and sun are directly in line with Earth. Low tides are not as strong when the moon and sun are at right angles. Storms and other meteorological conditions can affect these tides greatly.
The moon has the greater effect on the Earth because the moon is both closer to the Earth and has a greater gravity effect on the tides. Even though the sun is very far from the Earth, it still has a great effect on the Earth's tides. When the effects are compared to the sun's, the moon affects the tides in a more orderly way. The current depth and shape of the coastline will also determine the power of the waves, which also can explain why tides are semi-diameter with 2 high tides and 2 low tides a day. But in some places, there is just one daily tidal cycle. Spring tides occur during the new and full moon phase or throughout the perigee. In other words, when the Earth is in between the moon and the sun. A neap tide is the difference between high and low tide is the least. Neap tides occur twice a month and only happen when the moon is at right angles. The other right angles that the moon would be at is the third quarter moon and the first quarter moon. When this happens, the total gravitational pull on the tides is weakened because it is being pulled from 2 different directions. Tidal changes happen every 6 hours. You see 2 high tides and 2 low tides every day. The tides are caused by the moon pulling on the Earth. The Earth's surface is changed by the pull, and water is affected by this change. Whenever the sun and the moon are on the same side of the Earth, that's when high tides are. And low tides are when they're on the opposite sides.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Zach.
And thank you for watching our video.